How weather out west is casting a haze over southeast Ohio. A group is working to bring clean drinking water to Vinton County homes. And a grant will help preserve Black history in the region. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Curtis Fader. Southeast Ohio is experiencing poor air quality due to smoke and smog in the atmosphere. Wildfires are raging across the West Coast, most notably in Colorado and Oregon. Usually, wildfire season takes place between September and November, but this year meteorologists are reporting that it started in June due to a heat wave and the changing climate. These fires produce smoke and other particles high up in the atmosphere, and heavy winds take them across the country.
With time, it takes a couple of days, but in this case, we've seen basically a large swath of smoke all the way from the West Coast right on through the East Coast over the last 1 to 2 weeks.
The result? Hazy skies and poor air quality, leaving those sensitive to these types of conditions at risk, and these conditions seem to be staying in the area.
Most likely we will continue to see kind of hazy and yucky sky conditions for the next, at least 2 to 3 days, perhaps even out further than that.
Health Commissioner of the Athens City County Health Department, James Gaskell, advises those with pulmonary disease or cardiac conditions to stay indoors until the haze clears. Now, Benjamin, how does this affect our local weather?
Well, Curtis, we definitely are seeing the haze here in Athens. As I'm sure if you looked up at the sky, you can see we have that slight just haze throughout our area. And taking a closer look at that haze in Athens, it's caused from those wildfires in Colorado, like Curtis has said, which causes poor air quality. So if you are severely affected by poor air quality, please stay inside or be safe. Be as safe as you can. And this haze is caused by heat wave and climate change, and it's not expected to go away very soon. This week in Athens, clouds throughout the week, chance of thunderstorms and high 80s with again that haze staying in the area. And back to you, Curtis.
Thanks, Benjamin. COVID-19 cases in Ohio have more than doubled in the past couple of weeks due to the latest highly contagious variant. Doctors are warning unvaccinated people that they and their unvaccinated children are great risk for catching it.
It's now a choice between vaccination or running the risks of COVID-19 infection because you're going to get it.
More than half of the Ohioans have yet to get vaccinated. Vanderhoff and pediatric doctors say kids under 12 who cannot get the vaccine are vulnerable if adults are unvaccinated. He says the Ohio Department of Health is looking at recent guidance from the American Academy of Pediatrics that suggests children in schools should wear masks and adds that the ODH will offer specific guidance on that issue soon. Classes start at Ohio University in just over a month, and the university's COVID response team is gearing up for the return of thousands of students. Dr. Jillian Ice, who is overseeing the university's COVID response, says based on national rates, she believes about 50% of the student body will be fully vaccinated by the first day of classes. She says her goal of reaching a 70% vaccination rate is achievable but challenging. The university announced a 5-week giveaway for fully vaccinated students last week. Ice says her department also hopes to hire an outreach ambassador to help engage the community about vaccines. The community in Athens can be one of the biggest proponents in getting vaccination rates up.
The more we can have people engage in those conversations and making a community effort to keep us all safe, the better off we'll all be.
The university projects slightly more than 6,000 students will be in residence halls this fall, double the number from last spring. Another university in Ohio is offering students a chance to win tuition and other prizes if they get vaccinated. Some students at Miami University say the lottery is making them feel safer. Todd Dykes reports it could also win them free things that they need.
From now through September, Fian Akamalafa and Jasmine Crane say don't blame them for having occasional fits of vaccine lottery fever.
There's a free MacBook, there's a $500 gift card to the bookstore, there's a free meal plan for a year.
I think it's great. I'm very excited to potentially win anything on that list.
Akamalafa and Crane are students at Miami University. They're talking about the school's COVID-19 vaccine prize program. At noon today, 6 students who uploaded proof of their vaccination status won bookstore gift cards worth nearly $2,000. Drawings will continue for several weeks, featuring even bigger prizes.
One of the main prizes is the full semester tuition scholarship that we're going to give away.
Miami's Carol Johnson says since students who want to win need to verify their vaccination status, school officials should have a good idea of how protected the campus in Oxford will be when classes resume next month.
We're trying to crunch the data points right now, and we'll know that more as the contest goes. The idea is yes, if the more knowledge we have, the better we can plan for fall semester.
It's an approach that's already making these 2 upperclassmen feel better.
I'm very confident. I know Miami just wants to keep everyone healthy and safe.
I am excited to see what the future holds.
Miami students who attend classes at one of the university's regional schools will also have a shot to win prizes. Uptown restaurants are giving parking spaces a new purpose, and the president makes a visit to Cincinnati tonight. These stories and more when Newswatch returns. Discussion was ignited in an Athens County community Facebook group after a photo of Union Street Diner's new outdoor area was posted.
Earlier this month, the diner installed its parklet, which consists of several tables on an enclosed platform that occupies 2 parking spaces. Cynthia Brunty, an Athens resident, isn't sure Union Street is a good location for this.
It's just, it kind of comes out of a blind spot around that curve coming down that hill. And it concerns me. And like I said, people travel too fast on that road. I'd like to say I totally support local business and small businesses and the diner, but I just fear I wouldn't eat there outside, and I wouldn't want to see any of my family or friends there either.
Others were excited about another opportunity to eat outside in Athens. Jay Shapiro, an owner of Union Street Diner, says many of his customers have enjoyed the space so far.
Like a lot of people wanted outside seating. If you want to use the outside seating, go right ahead. If you do not want to use the outside seating, we understand how you feel. We welcome you inside.
Shapiro says the city approved the permit quickly, and he followed all of the guidelines for safety and accessibility. As with parklets at other restaurants in Athens, Shapiro says his will only be open during a designated part of the year. Brennan's Coffee Cafe was the first in town to add a parklet last July, and owner Josh Thomas says he and his wife were interested in a parklet before the pandemic.
It's something that we had actually, my wife and I have been to New York City a couple times. On our last trip there, probably about 3 years ago, we actually sat in a parklet. We were just sitting in one and realized this is a parking space we're sitting in. It's something that we wanted to do pre-COVID. We were like, man, this would be awesome if we could do this. So when COVID came along and the discussion happened, we're like, absolutely. It's been great. From the minute we put it out, we got a fantastic response from our customers.
He says customers have been very happy with the outdoor seating so far. In Athens, I'm Taylor Burnett for Newswatch.
According to the city's regulations, the parklets will be removed for winter on the last day of September. For most families in the United States, access to clean drinking water is a given, but in parts of southeastern Ohio, that's not always the case. Madison Moore reports Vinton County wants federal funding to bring clean water into more homes.
Nearly 1/3 of Vinton County residents are living without reliable access to clean water, whether to drink, to cook, or even to bathe.
And the ones that do have water, it's like dirt. It's like a muddy water.
It's not a new problem either.
The quest for clean water for Vinton County has been with my family for 21 years, and that was the first time that we moved here.
Federal funding has allowed Vinton County to place multiple water dispensaries throughout the county.
We make sure that every person that wants it has access to drinkable, safe, reliable water.
They're cheap, easy to access, and placed strategically near areas without clean water.
folks in their own pickup trucks, or they have a trailer and they have a tank on the back.
Local resident Thomas Acasio began a water delivery business last year, and it's grown incredibly quickly.
Within a few days of opening the company, my phone was ringing off the hook, and it's turned into a beast. I can't keep up with the demand. I went from 1 truck to 3 trucks within a year, and we're still 2 to 3 weeks out if someone calls today.
The tanks are a step in the right direction, but not a permanent solution.
I hope that we can shut it down eventually, okay? That is my goal.
Featheroff hopes that someday clean water lines will run to every home in Vinton County. It's going to cost millions of dollars, but she wants residents to know that they are determined to put up a fight.
We want to make them aware that we're still working on this. We haven't given up. We're working on your behalf.
For Newswatch, I'm Madison Moore in MacArthur.
The Vinton County Development Department is working on a cost estimate to lay more water lines to homes without them. Senate Republicans rejected an effort today to begin debate on a big infrastructure deal that a bipartisan group of senators brokered with President Joe Biden. But supporters in both parties remain hopeful of another chance in the coming days. Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York scheduled the procedural vote as a step to get the ball rolling as talks progress. But Republicans mounted a filibuster, saying the bipartisan group needed more time to wrap up the deal and review the details, seeking a delay until Monday. The party line vote was in favor of the delay, 9 votes short of getting past the GOP's block. The nearly $1 trillion measure over 5 years includes spending on roads, broadband, and other public work projects. Ohio Senator Rob Portman is a lead negotiator in this bipartisan effort. And President Joe Biden hopes to make his case for infrastructure investment in Ohio and his economic agenda as he travels to Cincinnati today for a CNN town hall. This is his 3rd visit to the Buckeye State during his presidency. With inflation worries, a COVID spike, and a bipartisan infrastructure bill on the line, the White House says these next few weeks could make or break his term. Ohio was once a swing state that could decide who sits in the Oval Office, but its red shade has darkened over the past few elections. Biden's visit shows Democrats hope to reverse the trend by going straight to the voters. Ohio's 22 races and the upcoming presidential elections will be highly contested. In Athens, Landmark is transforming into a regional cultural center. That story still ahead.
And how hot can we expect it to get this week? Find out next in my full weather forecast. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest. Good evening, I'm Benjamin Byers. I hope you've had a wonderful day, even despite those high temperatures and that haze we've been seeing and will sadly continue to see as we go through our day. Our week. Right now in Athens, 76 degrees, so we've cooled down a bunch, but that sun is still blaring with mostly sunny skies, and the humidity luckily isn't making it too unbearable outside, but it is a little on the higher side with winds not giving us too much of a cool down, only 5 to 10 miles per hour. And pretty much we can see the same thing throughout our southeastern Ohio area. As 76 in Athens, we can see 76 in Newark. It gets a little high as we go down toward the south with 80 in Ironton, but overall, the sun is out everywhere across our area. Tonight in Athens, we'll cool down even more, 55 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, and those winds will remain about the same, only 5 to 10 miles per hour, so not much of a worry. Shouldn't cause it to cool down too much more as we go into the night. And just like right now, we'll see much of the same trend throughout our southeastern Ohio area. 59 in Ironton, 55 in Athens, 54 in Newark, and again, just a clear night with a few clouds here and there throughout our area. Tomorrow in Athens, 79 degrees, so not as hot as we've been seeing it, but that sun will come out with partly cloudy skies. Winds will be light and variable, so shouldn't bring us too much of a cooling at all, sadly, for tomorrow. And for our southeastern area, again, those same trends we've been seeing for right now and tonight. Pretty much the 80 in Athens, 80 in Newark, 82 in Ironton. It's a little more closer than we've been seeing today, but still very hot, and that sun will come out with, again, a few clouds here and there. Hour by hour for Athens, 8 p.m. 74 degrees, 10 p.m. 68 degrees, 12 a.m. 64 degrees. So we'll cool down a bunch, but one thing will remain the same is that we'll have those clear skies. So at least we'll have a beautiful view of the night sky tonight. And hour by hour for our morning commute, 6 a.m. 57 degrees, 8 a.m. 60 degrees, 10 a.m. 69 degrees. So not much of a heat up tomorrow morning, and those skies will remain a few clouds here and there, but still that sun will shine through. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast for the week ahead. Thursday, sunny skies all the way until Sunday, where we can start to see chances of thunderstorms. And Monday, we continue to see those chances of thunderstorms. But Tuesday is what we really got to watch out for, as rain is expected on Tuesday. And over to you, Curtis.
Thank you, Benjamin. This month, 40 buildings across America will receive part of a $3 million to preserve African-American landmarks. One of them is in Athens. Nick Veland has more on how the money will be spent.
Mount Zion Baptist Church in Athens was founded in 1872 and is the last remaining Black-owned historic building along the southeastern Ohio River Valley's Underground Railroad corridor. The Mount Zion Baptist Church Preservation Society now plans to restore and repurpose the building as a regional Black artistic, cultural, and economic hub. Brent Leggs, the executive director for the African American Cultural Heritage Fund, said that Mount Zion was one of around 100 proposals that was selected for funding since 2018.
A couple of reasons that we selected Mount Zion. It was really beautiful to see how diverse the organization was, and they have a beautiful vision for reusing that historic space as a center for arts, culture, and technology. And it really, I think, has the potential to be a national model once they complete this project.
This funding will allow Mount Zion to start the restoration from the ground up. Dr. T. Ford Amon, Mount Zion's communications director, says this funding will rehabilitate the basement.
We're so excited. The basement will be kind of like the ground place for developing hangouts for students. We'll have an educational center there, and other kinds of happenings there in terms of providing community activities and support.
Hearing this funding will start the restoration makes it special for Dr. T. Ford Amon, who has a deep history with the church.
How is passion during my graduate degree? That was the mid-90s. I attended there. My daughter was a student at Athens High School, basketball player as a matter of fact, and she sang in the choir. When I say passion, I mean that with all sincerity.
For Newswatch, I'm Nick Veland.
This funding is the first step of a $4 million project to fully restore the church in the coming years.
Hello everybody, coming up in sports, MAC Media Day was held yesterday in Detroit. Hear from Ohio's head coach and star running back as they prepare for the 2021 season. And right after the break, the interim tag is gone. Ohio baseball officially promoted its interim head coach to the head coaching position. That and more is coming up next on Newswatch. And be sure to stay tuned to WLUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station. Welcome back, I'm Brian Kerr. Craig Moore spent the past 9 seasons with Ohio baseball, 8 as an assistant coach and as interim coach last year. That interim tag, it's now dropped, and Moore is the new head coach of the Bobcats. Moore took over the baseball program in February when former coach Rob Smith retired. Moore put together a good resume, leading the Bobcats to a 28-25 record, their first season over 500 since 2017. Moore last was a head coach at the junior college level from 2006 to 2010. MAC Media Day was yesterday in Detroit and in person for the first time since 2019. It marks the beginning of a new football season in the Mid-American Conference.
It's time to get back to action. Great coaches, talented and exciting student athletes, big non-conference games, big conference games, with the conclusion coming on Saturday, December 4th. I wish our teams the very best. It's now time to fly the flag.
The COVID-19 pandemic caused a shortened season last year for teams across the conference, including Ohio. The Bobcats are excited for a more conventional 2021 season, with hopes of returning to Detroit in December for the MAC championship game.
We can't wait. We can't wait. This team is hungry, itching to get back on the field. You know, we only had 3 games last year, so we're so excited. We're so hungry for a full slate of games, and this team is focused more than ever. So we're ready.
Ohio's 3 games last season were played with a very limited crowd in attendance. Now more fans will be welcomed back in the Peden Stadium to cheer on their Bobcats.
It's going to be emotional from the standpoint of we're coming out of this pandemic and getting a chance to see people in their faces, and that's going to be an energy in itself, right? And now you take on the playing Syracuse on a night game in Athens, and it's going, Peden's going to be packed. Our guys are going to be excited. So it's going to be an electric atmosphere.
Ohio opens up its season against Syracuse on September 4th. Retired head coach Frank Solch's absence was felt at Media Day. Coaches around the conference said they have nothing but respect for the winningest MAC coach.
How his teams played is how I wanted my team to play. So I said for years, like every interview we play OU, like I said, we're trying to become OU. We're trying to become a hard-nosed, disciplined, old-school, tough team that doesn't beat itself.
I'm happy for him, man. I hope he catches every fish out there, but we're going to miss him, and he means a lot to this game. Future Hall of Famer.
I'm Brian Kerp, and that's it for sports. Back over to you, Curtis.
A great coach indeed. Thanks, Brian. The Olympic Games are heading to Australia in 2032. Brisbane and the surrounding southeast Queensland region were approved as the Games' host at the International Olympic Committee session in Tokyo today. 2032 will be the 3rd time an Australian city will host the Summer Games. The 1956 Games were held in Melbourne, and the 2000 Summer Olympics were held in Sydney.
And let's take one final look at your weather. Tonight in Athens will cool down a bunch, 55 degrees, but those skies will remain a little more on the clear side with only partly cloudy skies, a few clouds here and there, and those winds probably won't give us too much of a cool down throughout our area as they're pretty low, so 55 degrees should feel like 55 degrees. Tomorrow in Athens, 79 degrees, partly cloudy skies, those winds light and variable, so again, won't give us too much of a cool down as you go throughout your day. Hour by hour for your morning commute, 6 a.m. 57 degrees, 8 a.m. 60 degrees, and 10 a.m. 69 degrees, so not much of a heat up as you go throughout the morning, but it will remain clear. And back to you, Curtis.
Thanks, Benjamin. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Curtis Fader. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find all the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.